is Community Funeral Home in Sylacauga. Going to be hot today with the clouds this morning and turning sunny by afternoon with a high today near 93. Winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight with a low near 72. Hot the rest of the week through early next week with highs in the 90s and a little bit cooler on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights with lows in the mid to upper 60s. Sunset tonight at 7:37. Right now, under a partly cloudy sky, it is 75 degrees. That'll do it for me on Daybreak this morning. Until next time, God bless you. God bless America. Stay safe, everyone.
Good morning, Rise and Shine viewers. Today we have a truly remarkable guest with us, Dr. Evelyn Lightsey, with 16 years dedicated to Gadsden State Community College and her recent achievement of the Certified Healthcare Simulation Educator credential. She is a leader in healthcare education. Dr. Lightsey, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning, Courtney.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you this morning?
I'm good. You know, it's always fun to get to visit with wonderful guests such as yourself.
Thank you.
And get to tell our viewers about all of the exciting things happening at Gadsden State.
We appreciate the opportunity so much. We really do.
Thank you. Now, I've gotten to meet you before, and so it's been a pleasure and got to work with you. And later on in the show, we are going to show some of the fun things that I got to do there at Gadsden State. But first off, I want to start with just a program overview of Gadsden State's nursing education program and what makes it stand out.
All right. Well, our nursing program, we have several different programs, 4 different campuses. One of our programs is the mobility program, which is for LPNs or paramedics who have already been in the field and in the practice, so that they can come in and take 1 review course and then 2 more courses, and then they will be an RN. So that's a year-long program. That mobility program is offered at the Anniston campus here in town, at the Ayers campus.
Yeah, just right down the street.
That's right. And then we have one campus, our Valley Street campus at the Gadsden, that is just a PN or a practical nursing program. So that is 3 semesters, and so it's a little bit shorter. So if people need to get out a little quicker, can sit for their PN boards. And then it's a really nice facility at the Valley Street campus. The administrators work with nursing really, really well. The facilities are nice. Everything's been upgraded, brand new equipment, nursing lab, all of that is really nice. And the instructors at Valley Street are very caring. It's a kind of a smaller class setting. Class size is usually 25 to 35, something like that. So a little bit more personable and one-on-one with the instructors there. So it's a very good experience for the PN program. And then at 2 of our other campuses, the Center campus, which is the Cherokee County campus, and then the main campus in Gadsden, which is the Wallace Drive campus, we have the 5-semester registered nursing program, or RN program. The Cherokee campus is relatively new. That's a beautiful facility. The instructors at the Cherokee campus are just awesome. They're very caring, very good educators, very good nurses. So that's a wonderful program to have. Center, relatively speaking, is kind of small area, but that's a beautiful facility and some very quality instructors there. At our Wallace Drive campus, we have a little higher number of instructors, and so we accept a larger class. So we generally have about 100 in each new cohort, we call them there. Some of the best instructors that I have ever worked with. They're so knowledgeable, so caring. We have a wonderful program director, Dr. Mullinax. You've met her. And our dean, Dr. Joey Battles. He has been wonderful. He has been very instrumental in helping us get some much needed new equipment for our simulation lab. So we're very excited about that. We have a lot of doctorally prepared nurse educators, which is also kind of rare for a small community college. But lots of experience, lots of knowledge, and we really enjoy teaching the students about nursing. We want to develop knowledgeable yet caring and compassionate nursing students to take care of us.
Yes, and that's what we all want you to do.
Right.
So we appreciate that. Those that are patients definitely appreciate that.
Yeah.
The knowledgeable and compassionate.
Right.
And those are very important things. And I know that the world needs nurses. You know, we've talked to a lot of people. We had Southern Immediate Care on earlier this week, and that's one of the things that she was talking about was the need for nursing and for nurses. So that's great, and we can have so many opportunities right here. You just said so many different campuses. So whatever area that you live, you can have an opportunity there.
Right.
So I've loved meeting all of the instructors with Gadsden State, along with you, of course.
Thank you.
And everybody does. They have that commitment to ensuring that students get the best type of of education, but also in the best environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's wonderful.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the concept-based curriculum. That was something, as I was, reading on the website, which we definitely encourage you to all go to gaddsdenstate.edu/nursing. That's a good place to start. There's so many. But the concept-based curriculum, how does that benefit nursing students, and what feedback have you received from these students and employers about this approach?
All right, so the concept-based curriculum, I believe that was initiated statewide for the community colleges by the Alabama Community College System, ACCS. So that was back in 2016-17 when that big curriculum change came into being. The former model, I guess you could say, of a curriculum was more like medical students. It was more based on disease processes, the same as medical students. So the concept-based approach is more from a nursing perspective, and instead of like pneumonia, the concept can be gas exchange, where with the breathing and the oxygen and the carbon dioxide exchange. So it's more about the concept, how that affects the body, what goes in the body. And then we look at exemplars or examples, basically, like pneumonia or different respiratory diseases, once you get a good feel of the actual concept. And it's designed to progress as students progress through the program. So, for example, the first course, Fundamental Concepts of Nursing, you just get an introduction, possibly, like to the acid-base concept. And then second semester, get more into detail, and you add to that concept, almost like, okay, remember last semester we talked about this. Now this semester we're going to add a few exemplars. So then we'll throw in, the different things that happen, like pneumonia, COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. And then maybe the next semester get into some of the more complicated, more complex exemplars or examples. So add to it and build as you progress to make it more cohesive.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Initially, it was a challenge for educators, as you might imagine.
Sure.
Once you're trained to present information a certain way, we tend to continue with that. So we just really had to take a step back and start looking at the concept as a whole, and then try to present more general information. Another big focus of the concept-based curriculum was not to present all we knew about a topic, but the need to know, the general information so as not to overwhelm the students with too much information, because we are really just helping them to become a general practitioner or a general registered nurse. There's so much experience and knowledge that you gain every year that you work, every time you go to work. Yeah. So it helps keep it a little more simple, maybe, and then helps it build over each semester. That's some of the benefits that I see. I don't really know that the students know a difference, because they were taught, those that were taught this way learned this way, and then those coming in that are taught concept-based, that's just how it's presented.
That's how it is.
Yeah. So I've not gotten a lot of feedback from students, but it seems like it stands to reason it would be a little bit easier to grasp, maybe.
Sounds like it to me.
Yeah.
What about employers? I know you work really closely with helping students like gain jobs and the work while you earn and those type of things. What type of feedback do you get from employers?
The employers really do seem to like graduates from a community college system. And I'm in no way throwing off on graduates from a university at all.
Sure.
I myself graduated from JSU, from Jacksonville State University. That's where I got my undergraduate degree. So a wonderful program, and I loved being there. But we have heard some employers say that, for example, our students, when they graduate, that they seem to be better personalizing with the patients, a little bit better at skills. I guess I can brag on them because they're
Absolutely,
my students.
you can.
Just better all around.
Yeah.
And I don't know in comparison, but an ADN program can be either a stepping stone. You can always go back and get your BSN, master's, doctorate, whatever, or it can be the end of the journey, professionally, educationally, and you still have so many options.
Oh, sure.
In a much shorter time frame. So.
Yeah, and for some, that's really important. I think I said work while you earn, but I meant learn while you earn, right? It's early.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that sounds like great feedback, and you can absolutely brag on your students. Please do. I know you're very proud of them.
Yes.
Let's see, what qualifications and experiences do the faculty members bring to the program, and how do they support student success?
So our faculty have just a wealth and a variety of experience and background. We have nurses who come from a background of CCU, the ER, surgical nurses. We have procedural based, like the most of my experience, I worked in the cardiac cath lab at Gadsden Regional for about 16 years as well.
Wow.
So cardiac is one of the things that I love. So of course we have nurse practitioners, obstetric nurse practitioners, people who've worked in pediatrics. So just a very wide variety at all of the campuses, really. And so those years of experience that each faculty person brings just adds to the depth of knowledge that we have to offer. One of the really nice things that Dr. Mullinax does when she is making assignments for faculty and that type of thing is she assigns concepts that are within our experience realm. Like those who worked in cardiac get to teach perfusion or the cardiac content. Those who worked OB, when possible, we like to let them be the one to present that content, so we can stay within our area of expertise and have more to offer to the students.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And how do they find so many great people to be employed there at Gadsden State? It's just amazing to me. I mean, again, every person that I've met is so knowledgeable and so passionate about the success of students. So, well, we have so many more things to talk about, but right now we're going to go check in with our local sponsors and some news for you. So stay tuned. You're watching Rise and Shine right here on WEAC TV 24.
Some say college isn't for single parents or people who work full-time. I'm here to prove them wrong. I'm a first-generation American, the father of Dion, and a non-traditional student at Gadsden State Community College. As a sergeant in the Army National Guard, I've watched soldiers with degrees progress faster in their careers. So today, I'm in school, involved in the Veterans Upward Bound program, and excited to see what's in store for my career. I truly am earning my winnings at Gadsden State.
Come out and check out the Alabama Tractor difference. We can take care of all your needs of parts, sales, and service for RTVs, zero turns, and tractors and construction equipment. See us here in Lincoln at 620 Speedway Industrial Drive. Or come visit us here in Asheville at 275 6th Avenue, or give us a call at 205-594-7000.
Hughes Paint and Body Works Towing and Recovery in Oxford is the area's leading auto body shop, serving Anniston, Oxford, Talladega, and surrounding areas since 1996. They specialize in auto body repair and refinishing, paint correction, paintless dent repair, towing, and so much more. For all of your auto body needs, contact Hughes Paint and Body Works Towing and Recovery at 256-835-1170. Also online at HughesPaintandBody.com.
I'm Alan Parnell with Parnell Insurance Agency. We've been here in Oxford and Alabama, Tallapoosa, Georgia since 1990. With Auto Owners Insurance, we're able to give customers competitive pricing along with excellent coverages. Parnell Insurance can handle all of your personal, commercial, and life insurance needs. We have a very experienced staff, both personal and commercial. All together, we've got about 125 years experience. Come see what our insurance agency can do for you in Oxford, Alabama, and Tallapoosa, Georgia.
Auto Owners Insurance.
At Bentley Prosthetic and Medical Supply, we care about you. We offer custom prosthetics, orthotics, diabetic shoes, and durable medical supplies. We're located here in Alexandria, Alabama, where it's a country feel but professional care. Come see us today.
I'm Lacey Klontz with your TV 24 News Update. American Pop featuring the Grassroots, the Buckinghams, and the Box Tops are taking over the Oxford Performing Arts Center tomorrow, Friday, August 9th at 8:30 p.m. Per the event's Facebook page, the Grassroots is an American rock band that charted frequently between 1966 and 1975. It was originally the creation of Lou Adler and songwriting duo P.F. Sloan and Steve Barry. In their career, they achieved 2 gold albums, 1 gold single, and charted singles a total of 21 times. Among their charting singles, they achieved top 10 3 times, top 20 3 times, and top 40 8 times. They have sold over 20 million records worldwide. Currently, band members chosen by Grill are carrying on the legacy of the group with nationwide live performances. The Buckinghams, from Chicago's Holiday Ballroom to America's Living Room on The Ed Sullivan Show, across the USA and in the White House, the Buckinghams have stayed true to their Chicago roots. Audiences and critics have affirmed the demand for the music of the Buckinghams, proving that success is sweeter the second time around. Original founding members Carl Giamarisi and Nick Fortuna continue to deliver a powerful replay of their hits and solid gold memories. The Box Tops Memphis-style Blue-Eyed Soul brought to you, featuring founding members Bill Cunningham and Gary Talley. You can feel that gentle southern breeze and smell the smoky barbecue as if you are walking down Bill Street to the beat of their sweet, sensuous, slightly gritty sounds. Again, this event will be held at the Oxford Performing Arts Center tomorrow, Friday, August 9th at 8:30 p.m. You do not want to miss it. For more news stories like these, plus weather and sports, tune in tonight to the TV 24 News. For WEAC TV 24, I'm Lacey Klontz.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine. It is August the 8th. 7:48 in the morning. If you are just tuning in, we are delighted to have Dr. Evelyn Lightsey with us. So we've gotten to talk a lot about Gadsden State, and we're going to continue that discussion. So now let's dive into the innovative simulation programs at Gadsden State. So Dr. Lightsey, let's explore how these programs are preparing the next generation of healthcare professionals.
All right, well, simulation is my love, of course, as the simulation coordinator there at Gadsden State. So simulation to me is the next best thing to being in the hospital. We do try to offer, it's a small group environment. We try to provide a safe learning environment. That's one of the things we focus with our students. Students are naturally anxious about anything involving an instructor, any type of assignment. But generally, we will do 2 to 3 different simulations with a small group of about 4 students every semester. And so what it does for the student, it helps them learn a lot of different things. They learn to work as a team, because a lot of times in the practice field, if you're in an acute care setting, there are rapid response teams, there are code teams, and just working together as a team is very important in your healthcare professions. So that's one thing that simulation fosters. Also, one thing that we see students struggle with when they come to us, like first semester, our students are so smart. They really are, and so they're accustomed to making good grades, good at memorization. But learning for nursing is a little different. It's a deeper kind of learning. There is Bloom's taxonomy, which educators will know about, but sounds weird to everyone else. But it's a pyramid of the different stages of learning. So knowledge, just a knowledge base, like memorization, is on the bottom tier. Then you have to really understand something to learn it a little bit more. And then the third tier is application or analysis. And then, of course, it goes on up to evaluation and some other different steps. So one thing that we see students challenged with is coming from where they did really good, memorize their way, study for a test the night before, ace it. Well, then they could kind of forget it and go on. But with nursing, it is cumulative. Everything that you learn in the fundamentals course, you need to retain that for the next course, because we're going to build on it. So one thing that simulation really does for the students is it allows them to put the pieces of the puzzle together, is the way I like to refer to it. So students have to, for example, if they're taking vital signs on a simulated mannequin, we call them high fidelity mannequins. It's a computerized mannequin that talks, blinks, breathes, has breath sounds, lung sounds, heart sounds, abdominal sounds, pulses, coolest things. So they'll come in and they take, let's say, a blood pressure. So they learn in fundamentals what a normal blood pressure is. Well, now when they take a blood pressure, normally they would just, okay, check, I've gotten the blood pressure, this is what it is, move on. But what if that blood pressure is too high? So then they have to recognize, oh, that's abnormal. So now what do I do? Do I have anything I can give them? Do I need to call the provider? What do we need to do? So that's just a very basic example of how we try to get them thinking, and we encourage them to think out loud with their peers, so that if they're faced with the decisions, like, okay guys, so this blood pressure is high, don't y'all think it's high? What do you think we need to do about it? Like, if they don't know, they have that support group of the peers and the other students that they can kind of hash it out and decide what to do. And then it's like, okay, well, let's do this. Another thing that it helps them with, when nursing students have clinicals, when they go into the acute care facilities, very seldom do they get to call a provider until they are a nurse, until they're graduated. So the simulation experience lets them practice making phone calls to physicians, making phone calls to different areas within the hospital. There's a communication tool that we use. It's called SBAR. It's an acronym for, first you provide the situation, then tell them some background information, then your assessment information, and then your recommendation. So it lets them go through, hi, this is so-and-so, I'm calling about this patient. Diagnosis is this, they came in with this, I'm concerned about their blood pressure. So this is what it was this morning, now it's this. They've already had their blood pressure medicine and they're supposed to go home, but I'm afraid to send them home. So is there anything else I can give them? So it seems very simple, but it's not. It is a very structured process, and you got to really know it to be able to do it. So this provides hands-on or kinesthetic learning for those. Lots of different ways to learn. We can learn what we read, we can learn what we hear, what we see, but mostly we learn what we do.
Sure.
So simulation focuses on learning by doing. It's called experiential learning. So it also helps the students, I think, with communication. So they learn how to interact with a patient. So if our students are not familiar with the healthcare field at all, if they don't already work as a tech or something, then there's a process and a correct way, a therapeutic way to communicate with patients. So it lets them practice that too. So critical thinking is one thing that we try to foster with the simulation. Of course, I love it. Students always give us really good feedback once they get over the initial anxiety. We always do. It's called a debriefing session afterwards, where we just sit down as a group and have a conversation, much like what we're having right now. And we let the students vent a little bit, like, oh my gosh, that was awful, and then we look at it. And the instructor is more of a facilitator instead of an instructor at that point. We're not teaching them anything. We're trying to get them to look back over what happened, kind of talk about, I feel good about this, we did. I recognized the blood pressure was high, and we called and got an order, so we took care of that, and I feel really good about that. They usually might have a question, I wasn't so sure what we should do about that. And it's like, okay, well, what do y'all think? Let's talk about it. And so it really helps them put the pieces of the puzzle together again. So I think it's a very, very good program. The simulation aspect of it, to add to the theory. They need the theory and then come into the simulation to get to practice it and actually do it.
Yeah, definitely learning by doing and having those experiences, and not every experience is the same, so you're always looking for different things. And the teamwork aspect. Yeah. Like you talked about them working together to figure out something, because there's a lot to say about that. There might be something that I might not pick up on that you do, and so to bounce those ideas off of one another, and to learn how to communicate, like to pick up that phone and to call and to effectively, because I know in the medical fields you don't often have a lot of time. So you have to be able to communicate effectively and efficiently and in a time frame. I think we have a picture of one of the simulation labs and the patients that the students can work on. There we go. So those are 4 of the beds that you have there, and then you have the patients that are hanging out in the beds, and you have patients of different genders and also different body types. Like you don't just have the standard, like body type. You also have like a patient there. What do you call them?
They're high fidelity mannequins.
High fidelity mannequins that are of all different body types as well.
We have a sim baby, which is very neat. Sim baby cries, has a very rapid heart rate, which can be challenging to count. If you're trying to count 120 beats a minute, that's counting very fast. So it allows our students to get a little hands-on experience. You have to determine which blood pressure cuff is the appropriate size for a baby. They're teeny tiny. We also have a Sim Junior, which is about the size of a 7 or an 8-year-old child, and we use wigs and clothes and different things to change them up a little bit. So, and we also have some adult simulation mannequins. Again, we can use the wigs and props and glasses to change their look a little bit. We also have a Sim Mom with an automatic delivery module, which she actually delivers a baby automatically. So the students get to coach mom through the delivery process, the pushing process, and then they get to assess baby. APGAR is another acronym that they use to do an assessment on a newborn baby. So they can get a little bit of information and hands-on with that too. So the picture that you showed just a minute ago is of our skills lab, our assessment lab. And that picture was from our Wallace Drive campus. We have 3 skills lab there. That one was the one upstairs. We have 10 beds in it. We have 9 beds in our downstairs lab, and then we have 9 beds in our practice lab. So we have large cohorts, so we have to have a lot of lab space for them to practice. And they can work in partners and groups to practice.
And there's so much opportunity for hands-on learning.
Yes.
Well, we have so many more things to talk about. I can't wait to dive into the standardized patient program and show you my journey of being a standardized patient. So stay tuned. You're watching Rise and Shine right here on WEAC TV 24.
Campers Unlimited, we offer a no-pressure experience, no hidden fees, and great service after the sale, making us one of the fastest-growing RV dealers in the Southeast. With our second location in Oxford, we offer a great selection of over 220 campers from top brands, including Grand Design. Our mission is to help friends and family spend time together in the great outdoors. At Campers Unlimited, you aren't just a customer, you are family. Check out our inventory at campersunlimited.net or come see us at Gadsden or Oxford.
Hello, I'm Taylor Sloan with the City of Oxford, with a word about one of our city's most precious resources, water. Clean water enriches our lives in so many ways, but we cannot afford to take it for granted. Remember, every time you pour something unnatural down the drain or in the environment, and every time you litter, our beautiful lakes and creeks suffer. Our city is beautiful. Let's all join together to keep it that way. Stop pollution where it starts, and help protect our waters for life.
What can you buy for $10? A hat? A milkshake? 166 channels plus live sports? That's right, for only $10 you can get 166 channels of classic TV shows and movies, including the latest news update from all around the world and local sports. Just simply go to 24ctn.com and click download, and then for only $10 you can have access to the best TV available.
I'm Lacey Clontz with your TV 24 News Update. American Pop featuring the Grassroots, the Buckinghams, and the Box Tops are taking over the Oxford Performing Arts Center tomorrow, Friday, August 9th at 8:30 p.m. Per the event's Facebook page, the Grassroots is an American rock band that charted frequently between 1966 and 1975. It was originally the creation of Lou Adler and songwriting duo P.F. Sloan and Steve Barry. In their career, they achieved 2 gold albums, 1 gold single, and charted singles a total of 21 times. Among their charting singles, they achieved top 10 3 times, top 20 3 times, and top 40 8 times. They have sold over 20 million records worldwide. Currently, band members chosen by Grill are carrying on the legacy of the group with nationwide live performances. The Buckinghams, from Chicago's Holiday Ballroom to America's Living Room on The Ed Sullivan Show, across the USA and in the White House, the Buckinghams have stayed true to their Chicago roots. Audiences and critics have affirmed the demand for the music of the Buckinghams, proving that success is sweeter the second time around. Original founding members Carl Giamarisi and Nick Fortuna continue to deliver a powerful replay of their hits and solid gold memories. The Box Tops Memphis-style Blue-Eyed Soul brought to you, featuring founding members Bill Cunningham and Gary Talley. You can feel that gentle southern breeze and smell the smoky barbecue as if you are walking down Bill Street to the beat of their sweet, sensuous, slightly gritty sounds. Again, this event will be held at the Oxford Performing Arts Center tomorrow, Friday, August 9th at 8:30 p.m. You do not want to miss it. For more news stories like these, plus weather and sports, tune in tonight to the TV 24 News. For WEAC TV 24, I'm Lacey Clontz.
Thank you for staying with us right here on Rise and Shine. It is Thursday, August the 8th, 8 o'clock in the morning. So we're back with Dr. Evelyn Lightsey. In our previous segments, we explored the journey and the groundbreaking simulation programs. Now we're excited to delve into the standardized patient program, which is set to take hands-on learning to a whole new level. Dr. Lightsey, let's talk a little bit more about some of the simulation that we didn't get to, and then move on to the standardized patient because I'm really excited about all of these things, but that because I had some hands-on experience myself. So when we were talking about the simulation, there was a few things that we wanted to make sure to touch on.
Right. We have just been able, through wonderful grants, to purchase some new high-fidelity simulation equipment. Dr. Battles has been instrumental in helping us get that. We have a grant writer position at Gadsden State now that Elizabeth Wheatley, who's been in that position a little over a year, and so she has helped us secure the funds. So the high-fidelity mannequins that we have, they are computers, so over time they do get old. So we just have received 2 new of our adult med-surg mannequins. They're Sim Plus 3G. We've got 2 new mannequins of those, and then 1 new Sim Junior. So Sim Junior was installed last week, and our 2 adult mannequins will be installed next week. So these are fresh off the line. We're very, very excited to have those. We have future plans for upgrading all of our equipment, hopefully another baby and another mom, along with some additional equipment. So we're very excited to be able to offer the newest and the best high-fidelity simulation equipment.
Yeah, the latest and the greatest.
Right.
Because like you said, I mean, technology, it's ever evolving.
Yes.
And so what's something that might have been new a year ago, it might be outdated now.
Right.
So that's so great. And to have that grant opportunity is such a blessing.
Otherwise, we would not be able to get it because those are very expensive pieces of equipment.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yes.
Do you have a roundabout how much one cost?
The adult mannequin is about $121,000. Wow. Yes.
Wow.
For one.
Wow.
Yes.
And that's amazing that these students have the opportunity to have that hands-on training with something that is that, you know, evolved.
Right.
It's amazing.
Right.
And it was really cool to go in there and to see the, again, like the different sizes of mannequins, because you also had one, how would you say it? It wouldn't be
Bariatric mannequin.
Bariatric.
Yes.
So plus size, a very large person.
Right. We do have an abundance of overweight and obese patients in our area. Sure. So with another grant, last year we were able to purchase a bariatric mannequin who simulates 350-pound plus patient. So that's in our skills lab, so that our students have the opportunity to try to turn and position, bathe a patient, have assistance moving up in bed, because it can be very challenging, and we do need students to learn proper body mechanics to help protect their back and their health as well. Yeah. So it also has blood pressure capabilities where you can actually do blood pressures and hear and try to determine what you're listening for and what those numbers are for our fundamental students. So that's been really good too.
I think it's fantastic because not everybody is going to be the same body. Right. And you, like you said, protecting the nurses too, because if you're moving somebody and you tweak your back, then you know that could cause the day to be very different.
Yes.
So that's great. Well, let's go to the standardized patient program. So I think it was when Dr. Battles and Dr. Cynthia Molinex were on, and they were telling me about it, and I said, I want to do that. And then I got a call from the lovely Dr. Lightsey here saying, were you serious about this?
Absolutely.
And I said, yes. And it was a wonderful experience. As I've told Dr. Lightsey before, I get a little anxious in doctor's settings in general. I don't know, I think a lot of people, I don't know a lot of people, but there's a pretty good number of people who feel that same. So I thought I would go in and it would just be, you know, but it felt, I mean, I was in a doctor's office. I was in a room, in a patient room, and I got to play the part of someone who was experiencing a cough. And so here's this experience. So this doctor's room, now my hair was looking a little rough that day, so y'all don't look too closely. I had it all clipped up. But anyway, so I go through the entire experience. So this student here is now taking my temperature. She took my blood pressure and listened to my lungs and asked me questions. Right. And she was tasked with trying to figure out what was the cause of my cough. Right. And it was so cool. So after she asks all these questions and does my entire evaluation, then she, you know, a few of them, actually I think I did 4, and I think all 4 of them got to the conclusion that it was the medication that was prescribed that was causing my cough.
Right.
But they do go out and consult with you. So they go out and they tell you what they think it is.
Right.
And then ask for the doctor's
prescription or order. Yes.
So what should we do? This is what I think it is. Now after we got completed, then they get to come back in the room and meet me, Courtney, instead of, I can't remember what my name was. And then I get to give them feedback.
Right.
And that was really cool to hear from them. Like that, they, you know, they were a little nervous,
Sure.
of course, but to have that real life experience, and then, you know, for us to be able to give the feedback to the students of the things that that they did really great on. And one of the things in our standardized patient training with you is you made it very clear that it's important in our feedback to be constructive.
Right.
And to give them, when you did this, it made me feel this way, and when you did this, it made me feel that way,
Right.
which put me at ease, because that could have been, you know, very intimidating.
Right.
But this process is just amazing. I mean, for these students to really get this just real hands-on training with an actual, here she is, she's taking my blood pressure. You know, I've got my legs crossed. She did look at me and say, okay, uncross your legs. Oh, and here I'm playing up my cough. Because that's what I was supposed to have a cough, you know.
Right.
And so it was really a great experience, even though I was a little more nervous than I thought. But they did a great job. So I know why you are so proud of your students.
Absolutely.
They're fantastic. How long has this standardized patient program been implemented?
It will be a year in October. So we started in last year of October, in the middle of the fall semester.
Wow. What feedback do you get from the students?
Students, once they get over their anxiety, they really do love it. Most of them say, gosh, that was not as bad as I thought it was. Mm-hmm. And then they say, how many times can we do this a semester? Can we do this again? Because they realize, I think, that it's practice for them. That's what we try to stress. This is not just something else for you to do, something else to make you nervous. This is something to let you practice. Mm-hmm. So if you mess up, just like in simulation, we want you to mess up here instead of with a patient in the hospital when there are life and death circumstances. So because we learn from our mistakes.
Absolutely.
So we try to get them to look at it as just practice. Like I used to play softball growing up, and so I'll give them that analogy. Just think of it as like you're going to softball practice, and I'm the coach there to help you with any fundamentals that you need. But we're very excited to be able to offer the standardized patient program, to add it to our simulation center. I've been wanting to utilize standardized patients for several years. Of course, it's always been a challenge with the funding on a community college level, because I didn't feel right about just asking people to volunteer for this, because it's a time commitment and you have to memorize scripts. And so we do pay a paltry fee, hourly, or not a fee. We pay by the hour. So I feel better about asking them to work with us. So students really seem to enjoy it. It gives them practice in a different setting than the hospital. Most of their clinicals are done either in the nursing home or an acute care facility like a hospital. So again, through a grant, we were able to secure funds to set up more of a clinic or an office type setting next door at our Wallace Drive campus in Bevel Hall. So we have 4 fully equipped exam rooms that you saw pictured there on the video. So we are very grateful to have that information, and a really state-of-the-art video and audio recording system that allows us to do reports and evaluations in video. That's how we were able to send you that video. So students generally really appreciate the opportunity to get to practice, and they do give us feedback that it helps them to feel more comfortable. So we're just trying to get them a little more comfortable communicating as a professional nurse, trying to put someone else at ease and that bedside manner, and still trying to figure things out, critically think.
Yeah, well, they all did such a great job, and I enjoyed meeting all of the students that I got to work with that day. And then the feedback that they gave me was that they really appreciated having that opportunity for that hands-on.
Right.
And for that real person-to-person. I mean, of course, those simulation mannequins are absolutely fantastic, but there is something to be said about a hands-on with a real person. So thank you for allowing me the opportunity to be one of your standardized patients, and I look forward to doing it again.
Thank you so much. We're glad to have you. Very glad.
Well, we've got some more things to talk about. I can't believe it's already time for us to go to another break. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're watching Rise and Shine right here on WEAC TV 24.
Looking for unbeatable deals? Look no further than Shop 24, your go spot for incredible discounts and savings. From local dining and entertainment to grocery stores and everything you need, we've got deals you won't find anywhere else. But hurry, these hot deals are limited and going fast. Grab your phone and call now. Don't let these savings slip away. Join me, Kip Chapel, on Shop 24 every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Tune in to save big with Shop 24.
Some say college isn't for single parents or people who work full-time. I'm here to prove them wrong. I'm a first-generation American, the father of Dion, and a non-traditional student at Gadsden State Community College. As a sergeant in the Army National Guard, I've watched soldiers with degrees progress faster in their careers. So today, I'm in school, involved in the Veterans Upward Bound program, and excited to see what's in store for my career. I truly am earning my wings at Gadsden State.
You may not believe it, but it's true. The 2024 Team 1 Chevys are here. All 2324 Silverado light duties have 2.9% financing for 72 months. The hottest new 24 Team 1 Chevy Blazer, 1.9% financing and no payments till April. And the #1 selling family vehicle, the Equinox. 24 models, you got it. 1.9% financing and no payments till April. Team 1 Chevrolet, home of the best people, the best service, period.
I'm Lacey Clontz with your TV 24 News Update. American Pop featuring the Grassroots, the Buckinghams, and the Box Tops are taking over the Oxford Performing Arts Center tomorrow, Friday, August 9th at 8:30 p.m. Per the event's Facebook page, the Grassroots is an American rock band that charted frequently between 1966 and 1975. It was originally the creation of Lou Adler and songwriting duo P.F. Sloan and Steve Barry. In their career, they achieved 2 gold albums, 1 gold single, and charted singles a total of 21 times. Among their charting singles, they achieved top 10 3 times, top 20 3 times, and top 40 8 times. They have sold over 20 million records worldwide. Currently, band members chosen by Grill are carrying on the legacy of the group with nationwide live performances. The Buckinghams, from Chicago's Holiday Ballroom to America's Living Room on The Ed Sullivan Show, across the USA and in the White House, the Buckinghams have stayed true to their Chicago roots. Audiences and critics have affirmed the demand for the music of the Buckinghams, proving that success is sweeter the second time around. Original founding members Carl Giamarisi and Nick Fortuna continue to deliver a powerful replay of their hits and solid gold memories. The Box Tops Memphis-style Blue-Eyed Soul brought to you, featuring founding members Bill Cunningham and Gary Talley. You can feel that gentle southern breeze and smell the smoky barbecue as if you are walking down Bill Street to the beat of their sweet, sensuous, slightly gritty sounds. Again, this event will be held at the Oxford Performing Arts Center tomorrow, Friday, August 9th at 8:30 p.m. You do not want to miss it. For more news stories like these, plus weather and sports, tune in tonight to the TV 24 News. For WEAC TV 24, I'm Lacey Clontz.
Thank you for staying with us on Rise and Shine. We're thrilled to have Dr. Evelyn Lightsey back as we explore the future of healthcare education at Gadsden State. In our previous segments, we've delved into Dr. Lightsey's remarkable achievements and the innovative simulation programs. So now it's time that we look forward to the future. So let's talk about the future of healthcare and education at Gadsden State, and also your journey, because you have recently recently explored some more credentials that you might have not thought that you were going to do, but again, never say never.
Right.
So congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that, and let's talk about the significance of that.
Okay, thank you. Well, for several years I was just a nurse educator, and I say just very lightly, but nurse educator, and I've loved that field. It's what I always wanted to do. Just took me a while to get into the education part. So simulation really came on the scene in the nursing education world probably about 15 years ago, more common in this area. And so when we got our first simulation mannequins, I was assigned the task to figure it out and, and start implementing it. And it's a whole new journey. It's a whole new, small, little career all its own. We are referred to as simulationists or simulation educators. So there is a certification that goes along with doing simulation. It's called the Certified Healthcare Simulation Educator. So I did do that in the past few months and passed that very challenging test. So I'm very glad to have that behind me. I previously was a certified nurse educator, and I was telling you earlier after I took that test, I said that will be the last one, but it wasn't. It wasn't. So I've learned not to say that. So, but having that certification in the simulation world, it does let me be more knowledgeable about the field. And one thing that we really try to do is to stress best practice. So there are several agencies or organizations involved with simulation that I'm a member of, and they publish standards of best practice for healthcare simulation. So anytime that we do develop a scenario, we go by the standards of best practice. So we're really trying hard to follow that. As far as future plans, simulation centers can be accredited by the simulation agency, just like nursing programs can be accredited, and our nursing program is accredited. The last time we were accredited, we got the full 8 years, so we're good to go a while on that. So, but one goal of mine is potentially a few years down the road is to get our simulation center accredited, and there's also an endorsement, like a stepping stone, from one of the other organizations that you can get, just to give a little more credibility and to prove, I guess you could say, that we are adhering to the core standards of best practice.
Yeah, well, that's wonderful. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
Yeah. And having those credentials, I mean, that's just so important because that's that first step that's going to take. How was it getting back into the self-learning? Because that's not a class. You had to.
Yes, I had to take the blueprint and make my own notes and research. There is, of course, a study guide that you can purchase, which I purchased, and there's a practice test that you can take, which I took. But I've always loved going to school and loved learning, so, it's just, you have to utilize self-discipline and set your mind to it. I got to do this, I want to do this, and then do it. So
you can kind of relate to your students in that way.
Absolutely.
Too. So you've been, and I know we touched on this in the very beginning, but you've been with Gadsden State for 16 years. So you must love it.
I do. When I was in high school trying to decide what I wanted to do with my career, I vacillated between being a nurse and being a teacher because I loved teaching too. I was always like a teacher's aide for my extra free period, But when I was graduating, my older brother was graduating from college as a teacher, and he had a difficult time finding a job at that point in time, and so his first year out, he just substitute taught. Oh, wow. And so I can remember thinking, I don't want to work so hard and get my degree and then not be able to find a job. So I thought I can be a nurse and I can teach patients, which I was interested in nursing from taking care of family members who were sick. So I chose nursing. Well, then when I went to nursing school and saw the nursing instructors, it's like, that's what I want to do. That's it. So from that time on, that was in the back of my mind as my ultimate goal, that I wanted to be a nurse educator. So, but you get married and you have kids and you rock on along. So when the kids got where they middle school, high school, I thought, well, if I'm ever going to go back to school, I need to do it. So I took a nursing technician position at Gadsden State. And I thought, this will let me be in that realm of college and see if I really do want to go back to school. And I loved it from day one. So within a year, I went back to school and got my master's from the University of Alabama in Birmingham. And then several years later, I just finished my doctorate in 2018.
Congratulations.
So, thank you.
What an amazing career.
I'm living the dream.
You are. And you are such in your element. I mean, even though I haven't gotten to take a class with you, of course, but being the standardized patient, we did have a day of class.
Right.
And you were a great instructor.
Thank you.
And I can also see how the students took to you and how they would light up when you're around and how much they appreciate working with you. It was very obvious.
We have some wonderful students. We really do. They're very appreciative, very genuine, very nice, and I just enjoy being a part of contributing to the profession, to the next generation of healthcare providers.
Well, we appreciate so much.
Thank you.
Now let's talk about students. So if there's someone that is watching today, and I hope there are many people who might be interested in joining the nursing program at Gadsden State, what advice would you give them?
Do it. Do it. Just go ahead and do it. Go to the Gadsden State website at gadstenstate.edu. You can go to programs of study and then health sciences and then nursing. So there's a few steps to get there, but all of the requirements, the application requirements to Gadsden State and the prerequisite requirements are all there. It is a rigorous program. Yeah. I would say to students, don't come into the nursing program thinking, oh, this will be easy. It's a commitment. It's a challenge, and you have to work harder than you've ever worked before to learn things. So it requires students to be an independent learner and ask questions and really dive in to do what you have to do to learn the information.
Yeah. Well, and that's what it's not an easy career either. I mean, it's a very rewarding career and we appreciate it, but that's kind of what the path that they're choosing is not going to be an easy path.
Right. And I tell students very frequently, nursing school needs to be hard because you're going to be taking care of somebody and you need to be able to recognize when things are not going well with them and what to do. So it needs to be very challenging and very intense. But if you set your mind to it, you can do it. One wonderful thing about nursing is there's so many different areas that you can work in after you get either your 2-year degree, 4-year degree. You have so many options. You can work in a doctor's office. You can work as a school nurse. You can work as a wound care nurse. You can work in any area of the hospital, on the floor, surgery, procedure areas, hospice, dialysis. There's just so many different avenues with just one degree. And if you get tired of something, you can transfer to a different type of nursing. So it really is good for all different interests.
It is, and with Gadsden State and the way that you have that with the simulation and the standardized patient program, you can really know what you want to do. Like, okay, well, I didn't like that experience, so maybe this path in nursing is not mine, but I really loved this. Right. And so being able to have that hands-on experience really allows them to see what path they want to take. Right. And so it's amazing. Well, so gadstenstate.edu, you can find so much information there. There's a wonderful video on there. If you go to gadstenstate.edu/nursing, there is all of the information you need to know on how to apply, what it takes to be part of the program. And there's also contact information on there, so feel free to reach out, and also tours. Yes. That's something that if you're interested and you're just not quite sure, take a tour. Give yourself that opportunity to explore what you can do with your future, because we need nurses. We need healthcare providers. And so it might just be you. You might be that next person to make a mark on someone's life in a positive way. And so we appreciate all those that do work so hard and go through these programs, and the instructors in Gadsden State for being there, just being there in whatever way that you can for your students and for the success of your students. So, well, is there anything else? I know we've covered a lot of information today. And there's even more that we could have talked about. Even a save the date for an upcoming mental health conference that's happening in October. We'll make sure to highlight that, but let's touch on that for just a moment.
Right, so Gadsden State Community College partners with Gadsden Regional Medical Center and Alabama AHEC, which stands for, it's the East Central Alabama Area Healthcare Education Center. So they always provide lunch for us, which is huge when we have a continuing education event. But coming up October the 18th is our 7th annual mental health conference. So we do provide for local area healthcare providers. We usually target nurses, paramedics. This year we're going to try to get continuing education approved for paramedics and policemen. Also social workers, nursing home administrators. So it's open to anyone. We are not restrictive. People from the community can come. Teachers might be interested, but it's, mental health is a topic, as we were discussing, that's very prevalent in our area today. So we have a full day of experts who are talking about different topics in mental health that are very applicable and would be very beneficial for today.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for tuning in. Make sure you share this information, and we'll see you back here tomorrow on Rise and Shine. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank